Joining us today from Eastern Michigan is head coach Chris Creighton, wide receiver Blake Banaham, and defensive lineman Jeremiah Harris. Coach, if you'll make a few opening comments, and then we'll take questions for your players, and then we'll let them join your team, and then we'll take questions for you.
Sure. Yeah, I just feel as though I've been saying this all week, but don't want to stop saying it. We just really appreciate being here. It's a big deal for our program. It's a well documented now that we have not been to many bowl games in our over 100-year history. And so when they said that we could come down to Montgomery, Alabama to play in the Camellia Bowl, we were fired up. And we're appreciative, feel as though we've worked really hard and that we've achieved much this season, and that this final game is a really big deal to us. So it's been a great week. The hospitality has been phenomenal. We've really enjoyed the city. Feels that we've practiced well. I know that our guys are motivated. Getting to 8 wins and hoisting a trophy is something that this group has not experienced, nor has a group at Eastern Michigan since 1987. And so we're going to go through our normal routine after the pep rally tonight and wake up and try to get our first victory ever in the great state of Alabama.
We'll take questions for the student athletes, and then we'll come back to Coach.
Yeah, offensively, they're a really good team. We're not taking them lightly at all. They have a running back and a quarterback that have some experience, and they're very explosive. They got some wide receivers that are very explosive. And then the triple option, too. I mean, that's a tough offense to stop. But I feel like we got a pretty good game plan. And, I think we're ready to roll for sure.
Yeah, defensively, they're leading the nation in turnovers. That's something that we've preached these past couple weeks leading up to the game. That's something that we've always preached is ball security, taking care of the football. Their defense does a really good job of taking the ball away. They play aggressive. They're hard-nosed. They're a good defense. But like Jerry said, I think we got a good game plan. We're excited to see what we can do against them.
There are some similarities. It's a little bit different because they run the triple option out of shotgun. So in regards to like Army and things like that, pullers are, they're pretty much the same. Guards are pulling, cutting. Blocking is a little bit different. So there are similarities, but again, it's a totally different offense that we're ready for.
Yeah, I would say it's a big deal for our program. We're super excited to be here. We're so happy to be here. Like you said, in the past, our programs have not had as much success as we wanted to, but as of recent, we've done a good job of turning that around, and hopefully we can end this year with a win.
Blake, if you will, talk about the powerhouse Creighton-Durham and the legacies there. Just talk being from there with, Paul Molitor, right, Joe Mauer, Chris Winkie. What's it like to play at a high school with that kind of tradition?
Yeah, it was awesome going to Creighton-Durham Hall. Like you said, there's so much experience, so much NFL talent that came out of there. A lot of NFL players coached on the staff, so it was great learning from them. Experience, having them be able to teach me at a young age what it takes to make it at the next level and different stuff like that. So it was great to be at a school like that with so much success and such a strong alumni base.
Did you have any interaction with any of those guys while you were in high school?
Yeah, so like I said, a bunch of our staff was former NFL players. Morgan Freeman played for the Giants, played tight end. Ray Hitchcock was an offensive line. Corbin Lucina, Michael Floyd stopped by every once in a while. So I was able, and then older guys that came ahead of me that were playing at the Division I level always stopped by and gave some encouragement.
Any final questions? Guys, we thank you for your time. Now we'll open up questions for Coach.
Yeah, well, when I went recruiting, after the season, when it was the contact period, every high school that we stopped into, was asked, and it was all over the country, are they still running triple option? And a little bit of a trick question, but the answer for right now is yes, they are. The difference when you're asking, with Army is that Army doesn't get out of it. What makes Georgia Southern difficult is that they're a triple option team, but they also get into some conventional, split zone and whatnot. And so the challenge for us is defending both the triple option and a more conventional style offense. It's that dichotomy which is the real challenge. Well, first I'll tell you this, I think everybody talks about it a lot, and the challenge as a coach is to get guys to actually do something about it, the turnover margin. We're 10th in the country. We're 10th tied with Florida, so we've been sticking our chest out and all excited about it. So when I found out we were playing Georgia Southern, that's the first thing I went to go look and see where they were at. I couldn't find them until I got to number 1 in the United States of America. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And it's not even close. It's not even close. They are number 1 in the country by, I think it was 8. Next closest, I think, was at 14, and they're at 22. So it's super impressive. And to answer your question, and Army was this way. They just didn't fumble, and then they don't throw the ball, so they don't throw interceptions. If I've got my facts right, Georgia Southern has not thrown an interception all year. And then when you run the ball the way that they do, you've got to take care of it. And it's so frustrating when you play a team that's so disciplined about taking care of the ball, and you can tell they're well coached and they take pride in it. And so there's there's fewer opportunities for interceptions, and they really value the football. And then they're opportunistic defensively. I mean, they're very athletic. They're in the odd front most of the time, and so there's movement. There's people getting stemming pre-snap, and then post-snap. There's blitzes and there's coverage changes. So anytime you have a defense that is based on like havoc, and creating chaos, you got a chance for creating takeaways, and they're so athletic, they're able to do that. So it's a pretty good combination. They're good at it, and I do think it's going to absolutely be a key to the game.
Coach, you mentioned both teams being very good at the turnover differential. And you look at the overall stats in terms of points and yards allowed or scored for both teams, it's really similar, yet when you look at the teams line up, they're really different in terms of how Georgia Southern lines up on offense, how you guys do, how they have a 3-man front, you have a 4-man front. What are the difficulties in preparing for a team that seems to have the same philosophies and values, but is going to give you a whole lot different look than what you practice and what you see every day?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. It's interesting because this is the first bowl game day, right? And there's some advantages and disadvantages to that. So when we found out we were going to a bowl, we celebrated. And then at the same time, we found out it was Georgia Southern. So our guys may not have had much of a clue, but as coaches, we were like, we're playing the triple option. And again, it's not, you don't just take your playbook page out of Army and then just go ahead and slap it down this week. So it's been difficult to prepare for, been on the road recruiting and official visits and a banquet and traveling down here and whatnot. But that is the key. It is the matchup with our defense. in their offense, and again, them getting in and out of their triple option. Now, just like, for their defense versus our offense, I mean, they've faced offenses similar to us, and we've faced defenses similar to them. So that piece is not as exotic, if you will. They're just really good, so you got to make sure you're sharp.
With some of your younger guys who this might be their first bowl game, how do you, as a coach, balance, letting them feel good about themselves for getting here, enjoy the week, and at the same time keep everybody focused? Does it help to have some seniors who have been there before and kind of got them through the week?
Yeah, we got a mature team. Whenever we travel well, and we do have a mature team, and so we really haven't had any issues the last 2 and 3 years. And this is my philosophy, this is what I believe. When you get, in this case, 110 18 to 22-year-old Division I football players on a bus or a plane, if they, and not just talking about it, but if they actually understand why they are going, if that is not always in the forefront of their mind, but always in the back of their mind, if the purpose of the trip is to go and to play our best football on game day, if that is the focus, whether it's on the front or the back, we'll be in good shape. It's when you lose that focus. If people are more interested or more concerned in the distractions or everything that's going on, then you've got a problem. But when it's always in the back of your mind, they know the purpose of the trip, then you absolutely can enjoy being down here. I mean, we took full advantage of all that the Bowl had to offer. We were, early everywhere we needed to be and excited to be there, and really took it all in. So I think you can have the best of both worlds. It's just more difficult if our guys were coming down here just for that and not thinking about the football game, it would be a train wreck tomorrow afternoon.
Any final questions? Coach, we appreciate it. We've had a great time with you guys this week. We've really enjoyed being around Eastern Michigan
Hey, thanks
football.
for having us. We're going to give you all we got tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks.